Yes, Honorable Ssemujju.
I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, in your communication following these incidents, you asked who is in charge. I wanted to raise this as a reaction, but also as a matter of procedure under Rule 143. This specific matter relating to the anti-homosexuality bill. Mr. Speaker, we passed this bill with the full participation of government, represented by the Deputy Attorney General, but there is a letter circulating of the Deputy Attorney General saying that this Parliament forced him. That he sat here, he was being called by the Speaker to offer legal advice as the Constitution mandates him. Mr. Speaker, I therefore wanted to find out from you as the presiding officer the mechanism that he used to force the Attorney General to concede to clauses as we are passing them. But also, I sit on the Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. The committee, we've been told we have a WhatsApp group that we should go for COVID test. The committee is going to meet the President over a bill that has not been returned to Parliament. Professor Sivami, former Prime Minister, used to call this the disease of presidentialism. Because a bill has not been returned to Parliament, but some committee members are falling on each other in an attempt to rush to State House to meet the President. You asked who is in charge, so you want to be told, Mr. Speaker, whether the Speakers of Parliament have been overthrown. And related to that, Mr. Speaker, the good thing with your experience as a former minister, the functions of cabinet and ministers are stipulated under Article 11 of the Constitution. I want to find out, Mr. Speaker, because under Article 1133, the President may assign extra activities to a minister. Whether the President can use this article to assign ministers to give company to his children when they are going to attend parties in Kigali or to the beaches in Mombasa. Because last week you saw two ministers of security and constitutional affairs giving company to the President's son as he went to attend his party. And the President has a number of children. Don't be surprised that tomorrow you may see the Honorable Nankabiru and Mama Mabira giving company to a daughter who is going to Mombasa to a beach. But Article 111 of the Constitution, 113 of the Constitution, they stipulate what the functions of cabinet and functions of ministers are. Can we be told whether the President can, under Article 113, assign ministers to give company to his children?
Thank you. Honorable Ssemujju never disappoints. We've been missing you, and welcome back from Mecca. Honorable, now, beyond one being a minister, they do have their personal relations, private relations, you know, beyond being a minister. Number two, ministers on their travel, if they are traveling in the official capacity, they get clearance from the Prime Minister, so they don't get it from the Speaker or Deputy Speaker. But so I don't know if there are ministers who traveled and are enjoying a certain birthday. If they are, I will ask why they didn't invite me also. Because we should have enjoyed, all of us. Okay? Maybe all of us we could have enjoyed. Yeah. But the Prime Minister usually is in charge of of ministers. But on the issue of the bill, which we've talked about, it's a really point of concern, and I had raised it when we were handling the tourism bill here. The museum and monuments bill here, where we had, I was in cabinet when it came to cabinet. Ministers didn't complain on issues. It came here, we discussed, no minister complained on issues. But then I see the president saying the ministers are saying A, B, C, D is not in line. And then I say, but ministers are members of parliament. And we have the Attorney General here. And that's why each one of us is given a chance. So when I saw the rate of the Deputy Attorney General, I was concerned because it clearly conflicts with the Hansard. The Hansard is very, very clear. He was agreeing. Maybe if he had written that after assessment, okay, as a ministry, after assessment of the bill, which means he has gotten advice beyond what he could provide here, beyond what he could foresee at that time, you know. But now he wrote, and we cannot force anyone here to make a submission on the floor. So we've taken interest in that matter as a leadership. We'll meet the Deputy Attorney General over it so that we first understand what he meant by saying he was forced. Okay? And then I will be seeing the next step to take on that matter. But I want to request, when we are in this house, all of us here, we are members of parliament. Even a minister is a member of parliament. So when we agree on a bill here, we agree. If you don't agree, indeed you put your position, here you refuse to concede, we put a question. When you're defeated, you can go to the executive and you say, I explained they didn't listen to me, but I believe this is ABCD. But when you say you agree with us, and you clear us, and we seek your advice, you say as an Attorney General, everything is okay. But then you go, you write otherwise, then it's really, that's betrayal of colleagues. That's betrayal of colleagues here. But we shall share with Doug and understand each other more, colleagues. We don't want to escalate it. The focus is on the bill. If we now divert from the bill into fighting with someone, then we shall have lost focus. Let's first secure our bill properly. Rob?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I would like to initially acknowledge the immaculate job of the LOP Emeritus, who did a wonderful job. A confirmation of the fact that we have no deficit of able men and women on this side of the aisle, Right Honourable Speaker. That's for another day, sir. Right Honourable Speaker, having said that, we take your guidance on the matter that you have picked at the leadership of Parliament relating to brutalization of our women members of Parliament. But I would like to ask that as the Prime Minister comes to make a report on it, some matters are very urgent. They may not wait until Tuesday, because the community is really scared as to whether they have a government. For instance, when I went to visit the Honourable Susan in hospital, she was with her sister, who was equally in hospital, brutalized with bruises, and she told me she was organely founded by police officers, you know, that her breasts were squeezed, that she was almost laid bare. But because she is not an MP like Susan, her case did not come to the media. Secondly, Susan's mother was beaten and slept in jail. This is not coming through. Even her father was jailed and released in the night for being the father and mother of the MP. The mother was beaten and slept in the cells. This can't wait. I don't know, Speaker. The Minister of Internal Affairs should tell us whether he's in charge. And in the media say today is Monday, so it's Tuesday. Tuesday next week is very far for these criminals to be still around within the people. Right now, Speaker, the army was involved and they were shooting all over the island. They were shooting in water, in the forests. These are insane humans. They should really be somewhere gazetted. This cannot wait for the Prime Minister. We have tomorrow, we have Thursday. The ministers in charge of these beasts should be coming to report whether they are still amongst humans. Mr. Speaker. Because we cannot be leaders in this country when this is going on. Certainly, the Minister for Presidency will need to come and explain whether she gave some more powers beyond what we know to the RDCs. RDCs. When MPs are elected, they are elected to the job for which they are elected, and nobody can assume their role. Whether you are taller or fatter than the MP is the MP. Whether you're older, you are not. Right now, Speaker, I'm only pleading with you to order some of the ministers before the Prime Minister comes to come and make preliminary explanations as to what steps they have taken to get some of these fellows away from the public. How do you jail an old woman for just being the mother of an MP? Speaker.
Thank you. Lop, we looked at all this, but we found it needs a multi-sectoral approach. And we said which minister now will take the lead. So we found we need contribution from Internal Affairs, from Defense, from the Presidency, and that's why we thought that the Prime Minister as the supervisor would easily be a better person. But let's make consultations tomorrow.
Right Honorable Speaker, when I hear of fire in Sudan, I always feel that Uganda should continue to champion the principle of being brother's keeper. Apart from evacuating Ugandans, which means we are focusing more on the security of our very own. What is it that Uganda is doing to stop that conflict? I think that is, to me, very important, because whatever affects one African country affects all of us. Right, Honorable Speaker, what Uganda has done in Somalia and what Uganda has done in the neighboring countries has been applauded. And therefore, Uganda should do something to show that we are concerned about what is happening in Sudan over and above securing the lives of our own. But finally, I want to say, Right Honorable Speaker, that I want to say that unless we Ugandans also have mechanism for conflict resolution, continuous mechanism, a mechanism that continuously deals with conflict, we may find ourselves, as our colleague has said, in the same situation. Right Honorable Speaker, as an elder, what I'm saying is not right. And if elders continue to keep quiet, we shall all be responsible of what will happen in this country if we plug ourselves into a chaos. Because we are seeing people moving on parallel lines. Right now, if I'm blocked from going to Soroti City, but there are others who are moving all over the country, people will judge what is happening. Okwali is an ambulance. She has no gun. But there are others who are moving all over the place. So Right Honorable Speaker, something is going on which is not right. And I think it's our responsibility as a parliament and as leaders in this country to make sure such a disaster which is happening in Sudan doesn't happen in Uganda. I beg
you.
to submit.
Honorable Mero.
Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, through you, I want to assure Ugandans that the government of Uganda is in charge. In charge. And the Prime Minister before you, I want to tell you we are in charge. So, and I want to assure my brother Ssemujju that what happened in Sudan will not happen in Uganda in any way. It will not. I'm on record on this floor of Parliament. And therefore, honorable colleagues, I have taken the concern of all members of Parliament. Government will continue to engage with you individually, especially to make sure that we bring all our brothers and sisters who are in South Sudan. Then lastly, I want to assure you the law about our brother Sudan, because you know the law talked about what is happening in Kampala, the floods. So I wanted to tell him that I got a message that they are already in touch with the executive director of Kampala, and the minister of Kampala is here. I saw him around. I don't know whether he has some report, but the fact is those Ugandans who were affected will be helped. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Next item.